discuss and a deep dive onto it, and the security concepts, including with both the Microsoft Fabric and Power BI content, and few of the administration rules, which is helpful attempting for the DP600 certification. That part also we will discuss it in thorough. Okay, and don't hesitate if you have any queries, right? Whatever, if it is a simple or dummy query, whatever the question is, please post it. Feel free to post your queries or unmute yourself. You have an option to that, so that I can take the queries. Maybe the backend team also there help me, so that I will take those questions and then answer to you. Okay, let's get into this. So get started with real-time intelligence with Microsoft Fabric. So I'm not discussing that part. So see here, what is a real-time intelligence? Most of us, if you're already familiar with working on this DP600 related topics, real-time intelligence is also a part of Microsoft Fabric. It is one of the workload, right? So why we are going to use it and which scenarios we will use it. So whenever if you are working on a larger, heavier data source systems, heavy sources like a streamings or log analytics, or maybe if you want to see the real-time insights at a time in a glance, in such kind of a scenario, this is one of the workload supported by Microsoft Fabric. Please keep in mind that part. And if you're observing, what are the data sources it is supporting? It is supporting all the type of variety of data source systems like Azure Event Hubs, IoT related data, or maybe the log analytics, or Confluence, Kafka. Okay, like maybe you want to see the tracking or telemetric related information in a minute or else in a seconds wise. In such kind of a scenario, there should be some architecture. So here, by connecting to this information, we can get it, analyze the data after data ingestion part. We will analyze it, the same process. What most of us familiar with the Power BI, right? We will do the extract, transform, and load it and do the data visualizations. Similar kind of a methodology here. For that, there is an components like event stream for ingestion and data processing. And we will also perform some data transformations inside that event stream. And we will get it stored, that particular data, huge data, as I said, right? Maybe if you are working with gigabytes to the petabytes of data, if you're handling that much of huge information to handle the backend like a TSQL or databases like SSMS, we will use this cloud-based analytics tool. So the data will be get stored in an event house in the form of a KQL database. I don't know how many of you familiar with KQL, Kusto query language. And from there, we can take it forward to the further analysis, like by taking the reference of RT dashboard. So if you're observing the architecture, real-time dashboards. So if you want to visualize within that particular real-time intelligence environment, we can make use of RT dashboards as well. Or the traditional way of designing, like Power BI application also will be available if you want to visualize the data in the form of Power BI layer, where you can see the different set of visualizations and you can develop as per our convenience, right? There also we can provide the mechanism like sharing the report and so on with the RT dashboard as well as Power BI. And if you're observing KQL query set, which is, I will discuss in detail, but if you're observing, this is how the architecture works. If you make sure that if you're working on a real-time intelligence related projects, streaming is for the data ingestion and processing, and we will get it analyzed inside the streaming. Event house is something like where we can get it added in the form of a cluster KQL database. Inside, if you want to fire the queries, we have a separate query set. We will call it as a KQL, Kusto query language query set. And from there, we can take it forward to the further level of extensions like Power BI is for traditional report building, or real-time intelligence dashboard is for quick analysis, where we will share the real-time numbers to the global audience. All these things will be get stored here if you're observing real-time hub. So from there, you can pick it up the data. The foundation should be one lake, and from there we can proceed, and for the proceeding part, cloud-based analytics will be there. You can whatever workloads we want to perform the activities, we can take it forward and we can consume this data and proceed further. This is how the front-end part looks like. If you get started with the real-time intelligence, I will get multiple questions. So Rajendra, I can extract the data from directly creating the event house, and from there, yes, that is also possible. You can directly click on the new item. I mean, once you can create the new items, right, from the dedicated workspaces, you can create the first event house, and from there, you can see the similar functionality like a get data option too. From there, you can get it extracted and get connect. Anyway, the data ingestion should be comes via event stream. So you can proceed either approaches from the directly event stream or from the event houses also you can collect the information and store the data in the form of a cluster. And one more questions we will get it like, can I create a multiple KQL database inside the event house? Yes, we have an option to get it created. Multiple databases also inside KQL databases. So it's not a limit, okay, please keep in mind. But we have something like a KQL is a case sensitive language, which we are going to discuss later as per the functions and syntaxes. But please keep in mind, we can create multiple databases also in the form of KQL databases inside the event house. This is how the architecture works. Yeah.
Rajendra, I have a question. Now, in terms of the data ingestion, what is the primary data storage medium? Is it going to be in the data lake or the lake
Data
warehouse?
lake. Lake, no, not like that.
Data
One
lake.
lake from lake, one lake only. From there, you can fetch it via any kind of other workloads as well. That's what
So
here,
when
if
you
you, yes,
say one lake, will it be like a Parquet, Avro,
Parquet file format. Delta
Parquet?
lake
Okay,
Parquet. Yeah.
thank you. And when
Okay.
you say KQL, this is something new.
Yes, yes.
Does is that a proprietary Microsoft database, KQL database?
KQL is separate actually. It's not from like just like how we are working on the TSQLs, right? Like that, a KQL database to handle the huge data, like a larger source systems. We will add it.
Okay.
It's a separate
And
language. It's not a
this
programming
framework
language.
also,
So
yeah.
yeah, please.
And this framework also supports Kafka.
Kafka is there. Yes, it is. Yes. If you have a
Yeah.
data from the Kafka clusters, yes, we can get it extract via this framework. Yep.
Thank you.
Okay. No problem. Fine. Moving on to the slowly to this KQL language as well. So, which is very, very important. Please take this opportunity to ask multiple questions if you have anything, and make sure that our major agenda should be attempt for the main exam and get it passed the DP 600 from at your end. Okay. So, what is a KQL? It is an declarative query language. Most of us we are working on the TSQL background. We will write the select star from some commands and then we will execute the outputs in various platforms. Here, KQL is declarative query language. I'm calling it as a declarative in the sense it's a kind of a very simplicity part. You can directly write the command, simple commands, and using the pipeline separations, you can call like we will use a where conditions, right? Where with some kind of a filter conditions like that. We will also use for filtrations part where similar kind of a functionality but logic and as well as differentiation is there for description as well as identifying the right exploratory information. So what it is supporting, if you're observing the data explorations part, discovering the patterns, it is supporting and identifying the anomalies. And as I said, KQL is a case sensitive. Maybe make sure that anyway it is an AI-based intelligence will be incorporated at the backend. Whenever if you're typing the table or column name, it will give you suggestions to you. So what column or else what's the table you want to get it refer. So this kind of an information will be there. No need to write all the commands as an on your own, right? So that is very important and which is a time consuming, time consumption, time reduction for us. So when you are typing something, right, it will give an intelligence wise the detection of the table information, operators, and so on. So I recently get started with one of the new real-time projects. So it's very column name information as well as it is detecting as like great. And if you're observing this widespread of Azure, so most of us are familiar with this Azure real-time intelligence, which is earlier was there, and even the log queries analysis and Microsoft Sentinel analysis will be get it added whenever if you're defining this query KQL query set mechanism on your once the database has been created on your event houses. How it looks like. So if you're observing differences part, use of KQL and Microsoft Fabric. Maybe if you're already working on the TSQL background, it supports or not. It will get support the TSQL functions too, but because we are working on the larger source system, that kind of a capability we need in such kind of a scenario, KQL, which is Microsoft has been added to your event houses platforms too. So major advantages here compared with the KQL, KQL to the TSQL, it's a simplicity, very easier. If you're observing the right hand side functions, right? Above one is the function in the red color 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 numbers. If you're observing that part, that is related to the KQL query standpoint. And below, after the next to the seventh line onwards TSQL. Maybe we will get to know like programmatically, we will write select conditions and you can write inside the procedures as well and so on. The major difference here, the most of the times, we will use where condition, where operator to bring it, what kind of a filtrations we are going to proceed further. So that kind of an explanation, we can use it by using the project is the command, and we can add the group conditions and so on. And if you can uncomment the exclusive to that particular explain button, it is almost the SQL statement also we can represent into the form of KQL databases. KQL wise, it will be get it read and completely. The first part and the second part will be get it added as a condition, almost similar to the condition to the first and second. Output should be similar if you're observing the below output, KQL, Crystal Query Language, and TSQL outputs. So the left-hand side KQL output is as same as TSQL output. The performance part is faster compared to the TSQL statements, which you are going to execute it, but it is supporting both of it. But as I said, if you're working on the larger databases, or as I said, gigabytes to the petabytes, several petabytes of information, better to choose KQL ecosystem and that particular language ecosystem and code, and we can execute and store that query in the form of a KQL query set, and we can proceed further for the reporting layer.
Rajendra, quick
Yes.
question on this KQL and TSQL
Yes.
comparison. On a streaming data set, do you think we can still try to use TSQL? Is it only primarily the performance, the reason
I
why
found
K-
performance part. Yes.
KQL is better than
Performance.
TSQL?
Exactly. Exactly. I
Okay.
have mean I'm coming in the TSQL background. I have written some of the queries on SQL part, which is taking minute approximately when I'm executing huge amount of data. But when I'm trying to query the similar set of queries in the KQL by just a kind of by choosing the guide, which I'm also not very good familiar with the KQL, I got a very quick responses when I'm executing a huge amount of information. That is one thing, and
Hmm.
easier to identify the statements as well if I'm writing the KQL commands. Like it's not like very big programming and you need to write it, but KQL is something like easier and flexibility part. It is very good compared to the TSQL.
Yeah. Now, Rajendra, in terms of the data
Hmm.
ingestion coming from streaming data, right?
Yes.
Now, the streaming data as it is coming,
Hmm.
how are we, is there any best practices like how do we store the Parquet or the Avro files? Is it like every minute, every hour, or every day, or something like that?
Suggest
Because
you.
the
Hmm. Yes.
because the KQL has to know that, right? How to access the data. Like, say, for example, I'll give you a simple example. If we are getting some kind of telemetric weather data, which is
Yes.
coming every 5 minutes, right? And we would like to do a analysis at the end of the day of how the weather pattern for the entire day was, right? Now, how is this data stored? Like if it is coming at every 5 minutes interval or every 2 minutes interval, how do we store the data and to enable analysis?
Based on that, so recently I have done one of the blog related to it. Like my colleague also, like my friend Supan, we also done some of the blog related to the weather metric. So basically, we will store it in the form of a minute by minute. That data will be get it resides inside the lake house, one lake, and from there, as per the visibility part, the front end part, the data anyway it is getting available. So whenever if you want to resides and execute the next level of query executions and showcase the visuals accordingly, like minute by minute or hourly base, we can configure it. It is not accurately uh, built it via 1 minute or hourly basis, but majorly it will be getting added to our data automatically, and from there we will execute and proceed further for the reporting development part.
Yeah, well, my main question was
Hmm.
because we are storing it as a Parquet, right? There is
Packet
no
file,
concept
yes.
of
No other.
partitioning in Parquet. So do we just have a column date timestamp and store it in one Parquet file
Well,
and then
date
do
and
the
timestamp
analysis
files
using?
only. Date and
Pardon me?
timestamp. Yes, automatically it will be getting as an injected timestamp date to your
Yeah,
record. It will be get it
yeah.
added, and from there, whenever we need, right, for the further part, it will be get added to our front end as well. Like either you can go with the RT dashboards or else Power BI dashboards.
So it will be
Okay.
sitting in one Parquet file.
Automatic. Yes, exactly. With ingestion
Okay. Yeah.
timestamp. Yep.
Also, it will be good if you can kindly share some kind of
Hmm.
public domain data sets
You
that
want
are
to
available
practice?
for this kind
Okay.
of analysis.
Okay. Sure. Definitely.
Yeah,
I
you
will
can
share it
please
out.
reach out to me in LinkedIn,
Yeah, he
Mohan.
recently
I can
blocked it.
help you with the real-time intelligence, all the topics. Okay.
Sure. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Supan Babu, he recently done one of the blog related to the Bangalore weather related topic. So maybe you can reach out, and it is already available in Fabric Community Forum as well on the real-time intelligence side. Anyway, you can reach out to me. Okay, good. Shall we proceed? Any other questions related to this?
No, thank you.
So few of the statements, if you're observing on the left-hand side, if you want KQL guide, I will also share the link with you. So this is how it looks like. So some of the easiest processing part, that is the table name. If you're using Storm event is the table name. And if you want to see the count of records, maybe if you are working on the SQL part, select start from particular count of start from particular table. But it is easier. Strong count is an table information. Pipeline is an operator here, which works as a kind of a, we will call it as a logical operator, and sometimes it works in the form of a pipeline delimiter. And count, automatically you can see the count number of records. Like that, if you want to limit, we have a take is the command. We have a KQL guide setup as well. We want to see the top 5 records at record results of the top limit conditions. We can also use take command for that. Likewise, if you're observing most of the comments like where conditions, these are all similar whenever who are familiar with the SQL background. So similar kind of an operations, we can also get it used and while defining these KQL query sets like projects for filtering the conditions, or maybe if you are working with the where conditions by adding or else delimiting with some of the numbers. And it is also supporting the aggregating operators like sum, count, and so on. As of now, it is not written here, but we can also add kind of a aggregation operators as well, which will be get support as it is as like TSQL statements. Coming to the best practices part, reduce the amount of data. So as we already aware, how can we reduce while working on the data set at Power BI, right? We can do the data cleansing operations all in the Power Query editor. Like that, here also reduce the amount of data. We can detect and predict that information, like removing the unwanted columns and filter the data. As I said, the project commands, we can filter the information and write to use the data types. Data types configuration is very important. How to get it used and what kind of a data set mechanism backend. Automatically, if you're working in the Power BI background, it will be get detected some data types too. Likewise, here, use the right data types for each and every individual columns, that major control. And one more additional considerations we have to keep in mind. Wildcard entries will not work out like star, question mark, these things. Count of star will not work out on this KQL setup. So similar kind of a mechanism, project commands or maybe the take commands will be added, get it added for you whenever if you're bring that best practices part while you're executing these queries at the KQL query set. I will showcase to you where it is and how it looks like. If time permits, maybe I will navigate to the practical environment as well. But on the right hand side, if you're observing tripwise pipeline operator, it is operating where, and that's the time control, like pick up date time and the when to when. And pipeline again, project, and these are all operations which the fields that are available on your trips table. And if you want to specifically connect with a specific fields like a string columns, we can use trips and payment type as I'm filtering with the data, where condition I'm using. Similar as like SQL statements too, we can use it and get it added as well. Like that, numeric columns first. So as I said, use the right data types. If it is a specifically the extracted information data types, we need to cross check because it's a real-time streaming data, right? What are the data types? This cross verification, everything we are going to do it at the while loading the data into the event house KQL database at the event stream processing part. You have to check control what are the fields that you are extracting. If it is not required, we have an options to get it disable, like unconnect those number of columns while defining at the event stream itself before loading onto the event house. Don't confuse the terms like event stream and event house. As I said, event stream is for the data ingestion and the data processing and transformations, which we will do it regularly at Power BI part. Like a transformation engine, we have a Power Query like that here. We have an event stream here. And for the database to store that information here on this real-time intelligence part, we have an event house. Inside, we can get it created multiple KQL database setups as per the business requirement. And inside, if you want to execute this set of queries, which you are observing on the right-hand side, right, we have for each and every table, there is an KQL query set table. We can execute it and we can check what are the information that is available, which table, how many times time, we can see how the records has been getting added and then real-time based.
Rajendra,
This is how we can get it
does
configured. Yeah.
how does
Moving back,
Power
please.
how does Power BI access this streaming data? Like, say for example, if this streaming data is ingested and placed in a Parquet
It
file,
is
right?
not directly injecting directly into the Power BI. It is storing in a database, KQL database. From there, we can call this table information from KQL database to the Power.
Okay, so when you say the KQL
So
database,
on that front-end face interface, yes, please.
yeah. So now when you call the
Your query.
KQL database, are you referring to the Parquet file as the KQL database?
Backend system is stored in the form of a Parquet file, but it is visible to you in the form of a table, right? In the KQL
Yeah.
database too. I will showcase to you how it looks like once it will be get stored and how we are going to get it call the table from event house KQL database to the Power BI, where it is. At the front-end interface itself, you can see that the navigation path. So backend anyway, in the one link, it will be get it stored, but it is visible to you when you are calling from KQL setup to the Power BI. It's in the form of a table. So we can directly call that information to the Power BI or RTA dashboards too. Okay. Clear? Or any questions still? Any confusion?
No, thank you.
Fine. We are going to deep down there. So we are still a few more slides to go, right? So we will discuss that part as well. Let me showcase to you. Manage query setup tabs. Like example, if you're observing, this is how the front end look. Once you can create the database KQL setup. Once in the event house, it looks multiple connections. We can get it configure and we can use the plus operations to get it add if you already have multiple database into this KQL ecosystem. Just a database part, you can add it if you already have multiple database system like RMK, KQL, KQL10. These are all the different sources, I mean different databases which has to be get it configured to your database. Once you add it, that particular RMK, KQL or KQL, from there, it is as simple as it looks like a table only. From there, you can configure and navigate to the Power BI and you can develop the front-end reports as well. So this is how it looks like. Okay, it's not a different kind of a setup. You can see the similar kind of a setup. Maybe if you're already familiar with SSMS, right? SQL Server Management Studio, the similar kind of a setup, it will be get it visible to you how the tables, whenever if you want to find the queries, we can see the query set, and from their query set, the output will be get it triggered and executed at the below itself. You can see the number of record information and so on. Okay, so multiple databases also we can get it added and just like SSMS portfolio. Fine. We are executing the time series, very huge amount of data. This is how we can trigger and get it performed. So one of the example, render is the command, which can be executed in the form of a timestamp. This is how it looks like for each and every minute wise or timestamp based, ingestion timestamp based. If you want to see the records, this is how the front end look should be once if you can design and configure with the RT dashboard, real-time dashboards. Once you can configure that event house, you can also copy that query, executed queries, and even you can like to link up that particular deeper backend queries to the front end so that you can copy the complete link, just like Example, I'm saying, if you are creating a group and I want to copy and given the group link to some another, you can copy the complete background of that link, like the similar kind of a conditions, which kind of a table it is configured and what is the information, what are the previous executed queries, that everything will be copied to the clipboard and we can share it to the teammates. And copy and query to the clipboard. Similar kind of an operation. What is the previous executed runs queries? How many times the frequency times has been executed, and what about the refreshes time that has been configured or not? These are all the things has been able to share it with this kind of an information, copy and share data. So this option has been recently added. Earlier, this functionality was not there, copying additionally like a link, query, and result to the clipboard. These are the new functionalities. Earlier, we are observing like a copy, query, and the link to the clipboard. These are the recent additions from the real-time intelligence, the front-end view part. Once the databases has been get it added to your event house, it looks the same, right? You can see here, RAS. This is one of the table. This is another table trips, which is already available in this KQL 1012 database. You can retrieve it, the complete informations too, which is important. So as per the new, we were starting working on, practicing for the DP600 examination, just try to cross verify this information already there whenever if you can get it configured for the sharing or else viewing the same content in your environment. What are the previous executed runs? Or if you want to see the result of underlying data, you can also view it by enabling this, by observing this link, query, and result to the clipboards.
Now, Rajendra,
Yes. Yeah.
going back to the previous screen, is this a screen from the event warehouse?
Event house.
So this
Event
is the event
house.
hub, is it?
Event house. This
House.
screen you are going to observe with the event house. Yeah.
Yeah. So now the event house is a service within Fabric.
Inside it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
And when you say that KQL 102 database, that database, where do we create that from? Is it from the event house itself?
Event house itself. Yes. Yes.
And when you say database, a database is a collection of tables, right?
Yes. Yes.
And each of those tables, can they be just Parquet tables?
If you're observing, this is one table. Trips is one table. Raw server metrics is another table. This is how it looks like.
Yeah.
Hmm?
So those
And
are all
whenever if you
Parquet
can
tables.
click on this, yes, whenever if you can click on the any one of the table, automatically it redirects to you, write some query set, KQL query set, and from there you can execute it and you can see the outputs. Okay, when based on the injected timestamp, how many records has been injected, and if you want to see the last number of records with the particular 5 hours back, how many number of records has been looked at, you can use the timestamp based execution. Like that, it works. Got it? And from the same window, which you are currently observing here itself at the corner, right? Currently Copilot. Next on the complete right hand side, you can also observe RTA dashboard or Power BI related. From there, it is navigating from here, this particular window to the Power BI, we can get it configured. Maybe, as I said, right, time permits, I can showcase to you the front end view, how it looks like. Got it?
Yeah. So the event house basically is like the aggregation on top of all these Parquet files.
It's a kind of a, as I said, right? Don't think beyond on that. Event house is a cluster to store multiple KQL databases, simple terms. Okay, it acts like a cluster. You can create multiple KQL databases. You can do the aggregation mechanism, whatever inside of it. But the tables or databases will be getting resides inside the event house itself. Okay. Clear? Still any confusion?
No, thank you.
Good. Fine. Moving on to the, this is how the earlier topics we discussed, KQL syntax, simple syntax it is. How to use TSQL and convert by using explain is the one. If you can remove that explain, automatically it works in the form of a KQL database. And we also discussed about best practices with KQL in Microsoft Fabric. Right. Moving on to the next topic on this particular module, secure data access in Microsoft Fabric. There are three security controls. If you are working on the, administration rules, Fabric security model, though we will not get much opportunity to work on the admin related, because as if you are joining as an analytics engineer, we will work at the front end, like working on the database part technically, not in the admin control part. But still, we need to know what are the things, right? Security control models that are available at the administration fabric security model as well. There are three important security controls. Microsoft Entra ID authentication wise, we can provide an access and authenticate to the particular sources or table information, everything based on our IDs, Microsoft Entra ID. And fabric access to check if the user having specific access to the fabric workloads. And coming to the data security, these are the three important security layers whenever if you get it configured with the security control. Data security part, if you want to perform a specific action on a table, or these are all based on the security, right? RLS, column level, object level security control. So we have to cross verify the data security too. Like we have a read access, read data access, read all. These are the terminologies that we will get it in the security controls while defining the security models in Microsoft Fabric. This model, this design configuration, most of us know, like Workspace at the top level to store our data in the form of a repository, like a data set. So you can create different types of workloads, right? And below that, if you're observing, multiple item creations will be get it possible. Multiple items in the sense, if you're observing fabric related items, we will get it created. And each and every layer, you can create the lake house inside the Microsoft Fabric, one of the workload, warehouses, semantic model, the permissions should be in the Glanler engine format, like each and every individual level, you can get it configured the permissions, like a read permission is there, read data, read all permissions. These are the segregation set, each and every level, which acts as like, we know most of us are familiar with the row level security. Like that, here we have an controls of the security front like this. And one lake data access mechanism, which is at the foundation layer for everything. Still, it is a preview, one lake preview feature, where we can try to get it configured at the each and every individual workload items like semantic models or data science related or notebooks. Okay, we can get it configured, and then these are the three controls like a read data, read all. As I mentioned, only three here: lakehouse, warehouse, semantic model. Like that inside, we can add many another items as well. Okay, fabric items. This particular slide, most of us familiar. If you're already working on the Power BI front, admin, member, contributor, viewer. This is how the hierarchy works. Administrator is the one who can create, right? We can create it, modify it, anything. The complete control will be in the hands of administration part. Member is the person next level of permissions. Okay, member. So they can view it, they can modify, they can also share complete content to the within inside of the data to other, complete workspace part. They can share it. That is one of the important things that you have to remember. And contributor is the one excluding this sharing content. They can view it, they can also modify. Just please keep in mind, member, contributor, don't confuse here. Member is having sharing option all the content or items in the workspace front. And coming to the contributor, they can view it, modify it, but they don't have an access to share the content within the data on the workspace front. And anyway, we are already aware there is one more role, viewer role. If you're observing the last role, most of the times we will give it as a viewer role to the audience, global clients, where they can only view it. They cannot modify, they cannot do anything untouchable, right? So we will not provide this kind of an advanced controls to the customers. So viewer is the lowest priority privileges role here. So admin have a full privilege. Member, they can do everything other than the deleting or adding the workspaces like admin role, and they can add, they can create, they can view, modify, and even the share content by the member. And here the contributor, they can view it and then modify, but they cannot share the reports or they share the content within the workspace. And viewer is the last role, lowest level of privileges, where they can view only the content within the workspace. This is the segregation, how the workspace. Workspace is again a kind of a repository to store in the cloud-based environment to store all our workloads, work items like the semantic model or workspace related data engineering part or different workloads are there, data science related project or notebooks, right? Many another lake houses and so on. Any questions up to this part? Hope it is clear. This slide is clear. Any questions? Moving on to the next.
Rajendra, there is one question in the chat. So can we connect to see the fabric capacity usage by hour in the day?
Sorry. By our
In a day, like he want to see the fabric
fabric
capacity usage by
capacity.
hour,
If you're an
every hour.
administrator, you can view it. Yes, like this. You can see it. What is the fabric capacity only, right? This administration controls are there. If you have an option to this admin monitoring, you can check what are the workspaces, how much utilization capacity unit, daily basis. We are the one who is monitoring. Like I'm also acting as an administrator for one of the project. So we will try to check what is the content, how much workspace has been utilized, what are the capacity units that has been defined on each and every day basis. This option is available here. Just try to check it. Monitor admin monitoring part. And even there is one more option. You can also check it from this admin portal as well. Okay. What is the workloads and so on.
Thank
Got
you,
it?
Rajendra.
But my question is up to this part. Up to this part is clear to you because this is important. You'll definitely get some questions from this slide as well, right?
Yeah,
Differences
clear.
between member and contributor. Important. So this is how the segregation, whenever if you create it in Workspace, as I said again, Workspace is a repository, just keep in mind, to store in the cloud-based environment, all the workloads which has been supported by Microsoft Fabric, like Lakehouse, Data Warehouse, Data Science, Notebooks, whatever, real-time intelligence, right? That is Event House, Event Streams, everything. So these are the different roles which you are observing. By default, it will be showcased as a viewer role, and we can change it to the other roles like as per the hierarchy: admin, member, contributor, and viewer roles. So whenever if you are trying to configure the lake houses, the SQL endpoint analytics part, you can get it configured. And these are the right-hand side, the roles that are available. Read all SQL endpoint data, read all, not class like a viewer, right? That is completely different. These roles are workspace level. Okay, please keep in mind, these roles are the workspace level, member, admin, contributor, and so on. But these roles are the each and every individual fabric items part. If you're observing the SQL Analytics endpoint query tables, Apache Spark file configurations, default semantic model configurations. On the right-hand side, if you want to provide an access to the Lakehouse, these are the roles which will be get it visible to you. Additional permissions like read all Spark files, or semantic model configurations, and so on. And if you want to notify some people about the access, we can also send it and grant the access. Grant, revoke, these are the commands which will comment on the next slide. So these are the DCL commands we can. So we will not able to write the commands directly at the front end view, but back end part, this is how it works, like DCL command, control accessing part, grant, deny the access, right? If your unauthorized person is accessing, we can also deny that and revoke that access. Maybe the person is leaving the organization after some days. And as like we already familiar, like configuring the table level access, row level security, which the data will be get it filtered on the table level, and column level security, which will be get it filtered as per the user requirement, the column, each and every SSN columns part. And even we can also mask the data dynamically, the last three letters, just like a credit card parts, we will mask some data and visible the last information. Like that, we can get it configured. Whenever, if you're want to share that report access or else that particular semantic model access to the global audience. As I said, one lake data access part, still it is a preview if you're observing. Still there are a lot of improvements need to be there. You can configure the table level, column level, even at the masking part, as I said, read access, read data. These are the different rules based on the configurations we can provide. We can define the rules like a sales only, if the table is related to the sales, or product related table. The product table, we have to provide a permissions like a read permissions. In such kind of a scenario, you can select it and provide the rule. You can define the rule, add the users, assign the roles to the users, and provide an access as per the requirements. So quick recap here, access controlling part, which is important, we can define. As I said, granularity at each and every level, each and every tenant wise inside one tenant, you can create multiple capacities. That part we are going to discuss. And data management accessing part, it is multi-layer security, which has been getting configured. And we already discussed granularity permissions too. Yeah. Any questions? Ganesh.
Yeah, yes, Rajendra. Actually, I was watching the session on YouTube, okay, but I recently joined on Teams due to I have one question related to you
Please.
mentioned that admin monitoring workspace is available for admin role, right? A Fabric admin administrator role. So in the admin monitoring
This one.
workspace, how many days of data available in that workspace? How
That is a
like
retention policy. We have to get it retention. We have to enable that retention policies too, like 30 days. These things we have to get it configured.
okay, so
Basically,
there
by
will.
default,
Mhm.
there is no limit. I mean, by default, that option is turned off. Suppose if you want to
Mhm.
enable that functionality, there is a retention for policy functionality is there on the administration portal, and there we can configure it accordingly.
So from where
30
we can
days.
enable or increase the data retention policy?
Admin roles, admin portal itself, as a showcase to you right here. Admin portal, or maybe individually if you want to get it configured.
I think
But
it's available only for 30 days, right? So
30
we
days
have
by
to,
default.
if
By
we,
default, it is 30
hmm,
days.
okay, if we have to enable, then from admin portal, there is an option to enable for more days or,
We can change it, I think so,
I
but I
think you
haven't,
have
I'm not
more
into the
days,
part.
Ganesh.
More days
I
also we
have
can
seen
enable it.
somewhere you can
hmm?
increase up to maximum 90 days.
90 days is
I
there.
don't actually I do have a Fabric administrator role, but I did not find these options to increase the retention policy in Fabric
You
admin
haven't
settings.
found that configuration, huh? That's what you're saying.
Uh, yeah.
I will just give me some time. I will check it and I will share it with you where it is with
Cause like
snapshot.
what I have did for alternative solution is
Mm,
accessing same data
mm.
by using service principal account.
Use it. Okay, okay, okay.
By using like service principal, then calling the APIs and pulling and store it in the data into Oracle systems like that I have been doing. But if there
Configure
an
correctly.
option available to increase the retention policy, na, that will be good for me
Best,
to
right? Okay,
have.
let me check it and I will confirm
Okay,
it to you
okay,
where it is. Okay.
okay.
But by
Thank.
default, it is 30, but we can also
By
extend up to
default is
90
30.
days. 90
Yeah.
days. Let me check it and update you.
Whether I'll also have gone through one
Ping
of
me
the.
separately, Ganesh.
Okay.
Okay, I will check it and update you. Last topic here, administer Microsoft Fabric. This particular architecture, most of us know. Microsoft Fabric, as I said, it's an all-in-one analytics, and we can also call it as an all the items in one single umbrella, like a data science related, you can get start, or real-time intelligence, or I mean, as per the requirement, right? If you want to get started with a data warehouse related topic, you can use that particular workload, we can get started accordingly. So all the items from data warehousing for storing the data, historical SCDs we can implement it, or maybe the data engineering prospect, we can also get it added with a PySpark coding, like SAS, advanced statistical analysis. Or maybe I want to inject the data, we can also choose the data flow Gen 2s or ADF pipelines, or maybe for the futuristic, you want to see the predictive models, you can also choose, I mean, giving the simple terms here, what are the workloads, how it works inside the Microsoft Fabric. Further data science is there. Currently, we are discussing about the real-time intelligence. If you're working on real-time stuff like huge amount of data which is floating and you want to see the insights very quick, or maybe if you want to get it stored in the form of an KQL setup and so on, we can have a functionality like a real-time intelligence. Most of us we are familiar with the business intelligence topic, which is an incorporated Power BI. So we can also get it used and we can build the visualizations directly instead of connecting to the Power BI desktop and develop the report and publishing into the cloud-based. So everything will be comes into one single umbrella, which we are calling it as an all-in-one analytics solution platform, which is in Microsoft Fabric. This architecture, most of us familiar, like all the items has been get supported, all the different workloads, which will be get its resides on one lake to avoid the data duplications and so on. You can create multiple workspaces, okay, as per the tenant configurations wise, multiple workspaces for an organization, so you can get it created. And further part, we can take it proceed with the, like on the one lake will be automatically get it added to each and every workspace, the Fabric content workspace, and we can proceed further activities accordingly. So here, Purview also missing, but it is also there, like for data governance related. So instead of searching for our assets, right, resources and so on, Purview is also get it added. It is available already, Microsoft Fabric architecture part. No need to go for separately. This is how the fabric concepts has been worked. As I said, for an organization, we can see one single tenant, one tenant. You can get it created multiple capacities. Capacities in the sense, simple terms, like if you want to try with some trial account, there is a fabric trial is there, which is valid for 60 days. Or maybe if you are already purchasing some planning to purchase some licenses, SKUs wise, there is getting started from F2 to F20. 64 is the last capacity. I think that is the approximate number, F0262064 or something. But huge capacity, but as per the configurations. But as I said, right, most of us, we will try to check the how much data we are loading, and based on that, the capacity choosings will be there, right? So there is a separate portal for this as well, to choosing what are the workloads we are going to utilize, to choose the licenses, F2 or F4 or F6 or F64 is the max. I mean, most of us choosing capacity part. And more than that, also, it is there for FZF 2034 or 206 for some number is there. Like that, you can create a multiple capacities, like a product or pricing or people capacity or sales capacity. And inside domain is a specifically, we will call it as a logical group. Suppose if you're working for the project like a supply chain or procurement or manufacturing related topics, individual domain wise, we can also maintain, like we will call it as a domains inside this Microsoft Fabric content. So workspace, we already discussed, it's the storing area where just like a repository for all your workload contents, which is already there, like data engineering, data science, and so on. And each and every item, we will call it as an fabric items, like the fabric related workload items. So you can add as per the business requirement, those items as well. But this is all data governance topic is also there as this is missing sometimes, right? To identify the particular resource or business assets, we will use this Microsoft Purview. Okay, inside which is already there, we can get it added and we can get it configured as well. Okay. And security controls we already discussed where it is and how it will be get it configured. And manually, we can also get it configured the custom for each and every workload, the configurations like by default, some of the pool settings will be getting there for if you're working on a data engineering project, we can also change the configuration mechanism and visualize it. Last but not the least, if you're observing the administration tasks, these are all administration. We are not, I mean, if you are coming as joining as an analytics engineer, these topics we are not going to work rigorously or else regular time to time base. Most of the tasks will be handled or taken care by the backend admin team if there is a separate admin portal or admin teams are there. So these monitoring what is the capacity usage we are utilizing for each and every workspace, or which report is consuming more, or else maybe if there is any stuck or orphan data sources or data resides inside of your workspaces. These are all monitored by the Fabric administration team. So we have a separate monitoring options as well. This is the one which I'm currently showcasing to you, like this. Admin monitoring part. This option we will not get it. This is my personal environment, so I can get it used and check what is the contents and what is the which capacities, how what are the total number of items that has been created, what is the capacity name, how many number of workspaces, when the last modified. Okay, these are all the information we can get it visualized in the form of a report. Okay, this report is auto generated, not like hope you people are already aware. If you are want to check the usage metrics of your Power BI report, we can generate it, right? Like that for admin control, administration part, fabric related admin, this report, they are not going to prepare, automatically get it generated. Okay, as per the usage and capacities, what is the, I mean, which licenses you are using, what are the capacity items, how many number of domains we created, like a sales, manufacturing, production domains, everything will be get it added. And is there any data sensitivity labels are been added, or maybe if the report or particular semantic model has been endorsed to the next level of development, these are all information will be get it visible to you on this layer. Okay, so they're providing with some by default some of the pages. This is the overview page for the first page, and analysis page is something like looks over in the form of a decomposition tree. You can see here total number of items by segregations, and workspace, how many number of workspace has been get created and so on. You can see those information also starts also here on this admin monitoring control. Okay, fine, almost near to this. The backend part, as I said, this is one of the admin monitoring workspaces we discussed. Other than that, we can navigate to the Fabric administration portal, or maybe by using PowerShell command promptlet, we can utilize and we can execute the commands. Maybe if you are very familiar writing the functions. Fabric capacity metric app is also there. We can install this app also. So it's one of the app. So let me check it from here, where it is, Fabric app here. We can
Rajendra,
add this
can you
apps
please
as
go
well.
to the apps? Yes, from apps we will get it.
Yes,
Here you
it
can
is
go
there,
to
I think.
get apps.
No,
Get
already there. It is there. Let me check it one more time. Get apps already there, but I just want to share it with you where it is. So here itself, you can add the Fabric capacity apps. So you can just click it. These are all other globally available apps. But if you want to cross verify your apps, you can just get it. It looks in this way. It looks in this way, Fabric, Microsoft Fabric capacity control apps. So you can monitor it. Okay, what is the compute engines, how much it has been utilized, CUs. We will call it as a CUs. So duration, operation, how many number of users has been utilizing. These are all information will be visible to you here. Okay. Is there any auto scaling existing?
It is just like the Power BI apps, right?
Yes. Yeah, here. Apps is there, right? And the services part. Sorry, again, I missed here. You can just get it from this. That's it.
But make sure I'm adding one point here. You should have admin access.
Other than that, we will not see the even admin monitoring also. Okay, just try to check it. Fine. This is how the portal looks like, centralized portal. Though we don't have an access, just try to keep in mind where it is. So at the top, you can see here. So whoever not familiar, here, gear icon, just try to click on this admin portal. So basically, we are not administrator part. We are coming into the analytics background. So we will not, most of us in the real-time projects, we will not get to see what are these and if any new request or else some capacity increase or else change from pro user to the Fabric content, we have to write some support ticket and then only we will get it as in Fabric related. But to visualize or just to observe these kind of an advanced component or information, we don't have a specific access, okay, as a development part. Okay, we need a specific new permissions for this. Okay, it looks in this way. They're going to restrict it at the tenant level itself, like is that a specific group or entire organizations we want to provide a Fabric control and so on. And this is how, just now I showcased you Fabric Administration Monitoring Workspace. This is how it looks like based on the dates. We can check it. What is the utilizations and what are the how many number of capacities has been created. As I said, in one single tenant, you can create multiple capacities and multiple capacity you can get it created. Many number of workloads, Microsoft Fabric workloads as per the requirement. And if you want to cross check what is the user, how many number of active users, or is there any ideal or often workload items, we can also raise a point and then we can stop those as well. Or else maybe if the team is not there, we can ask them to stop if there is any unused reports or else semantic models as well. This is how the Fabric capacity, just now I showcased you. It looks in this way. Okay, in the form of a chart only for easier and grasping part. Okay. That's it. If you have any questions, let me know. These are all configured at the backend part, like a license manager. So with M365 administration control, we can get it added. And maybe sometimes, right, I will get a request from my group as well. I want to work with the Microsoft Fabric. Please provide permissions. So we will provide it as an addition of their users, and they will get it added. So, okay, there you can see the numbers also, how many licenses we can get it provided for each and every license part in the Fabric license management. Any questions up to this part? Do you have any questions?
No questions, Rajendra.
Fine. And lineage view also, I'll just try to showcase where it is, and then we will wrap up. Okay. In one dedicated workspace, it looks in the similar way. So just try to click here. Currently, it looks in this way, right? You can use this lineage view to check how it has been get connected to one workspace capacity to the another. Okay, like this admin monitor control. And one more interesting point, I just want to share it with you. So important as per the Microsoft real-time intelligence architecture part. These are the various different data sources at the top, and it will be get it pulled to the event stream. for injecting and routing or even the modification of your connected information. Okay, you can perform variety of transformations. Okay, groups we can do it, or we can modify the columns. We can add multiple other new source systems, and everything will be get it reside on an event house. And the backend should be on, if you want to execute or else fight the queries, two languages it is supporting, KQL and TSQL, but best for the performance prospect, because you are working on a huge data part, KQL is the best. So most of the transformations are simple and easy and robust. Okay, flexibility part, we can utilize it. And finally, the reporting level. If you want to comes to the reporting, how can we get it report those tables into the something? We have two options. Real-time intelligence wise, we can visualize it, and RT dashboards we will call it as the front end. And Power BI is another which we are already familiar, which is a traditional way of reporting design. And even we can trigger these reports via alerting mechanism. Okay, if you want to check based on some conditions, if the values are exceeding, or maybe if you want to trigger some kind of a notifications, you can schedule in three ways, like a fabric items wise or MS team files, we can get it notified to the people, or maybe the email also we can send it and share this. If there is any abnormal values if you are observing, there are three approaches. These are the three approaches. That is fabric work items wise, we can get it configured, or emails, or MS Teams wise also we can get it configured. Fine. And I'm good up to this part. And if you have any queries, questions, something, please let me know. And again, thanks, Babu, Super Babu, for giving this opportunity to share this views on DP600, real-time intelligence and security. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Rajendra, for a wonderful session. Team, if you have any questions, just feel free to ask. Meantime, Ajay, can you please share your screen and open the form QR code so that people can share their details and records, as well as you can copy and paste the link in the chat box.
Rajendra, I've got a quick question. When we access
Yes,
the
please.
KQL database from Power BI, is there a separate connection type to KQL?
No,
database?
direct only. No. Let me showcase. I said I will showcase you some front-end view also, right? Sorry for that. As per the time, I need to cover these slides. Just give me a minute. I will open in the meantime backend. Just a minute.
Hello everyone, just scan this QR code, or else like you can use this URL as well, and just fill your details and you can get a participation certificate from us. And even like Suparna will explain like how you can apply for a voucher. Rajendra, if you are ready, then you can start sharing your screen. Already I shared the form URL in the chat.
Okay, can I share my
Form is
screen?
not
I'm just
accepting.
waiting.
Can you refresh and try now?
Babu, can I share a screen? Just a minute. Okay, to just showcase to the front end to it.
Yeah.
Let me know once it is visible. Few minutes. Mohan, right? The question from.
Yeah,
Yes,
correct.
Okay,
yeah.
So I see here, Mohan.
Yes,
KQL
visible.
database.
Thanks.
This is how the table. So from here, you can navigate whatever you want. You want a traditional way of Power BI, you can click and develop the report, or maybe the real-time part here itself. Okay, but few of the charts only, it is limited with not all the charts like Power BI. Few charts we can visualize it and shows the streaming source systems as well. So if you can click here, it's going to the preview. This is the preview, and from there it will take you to the next layer, that is Power BI window. Okay, the tables, whatever it is connected on the event house, but KQL database event house. See here, right? This is how it is. Got it. This is the query, Kusto queries, which has been executed recently. And coming to the real-time RT dashboard, which I said, if you can, it is a separate window. So if we can click on this, it will open and directly take you to the next prompt of the window. See here, from here, it will be get added. And if you want to change some other visualization, by default, it is a table. If you want to change it to some another visualization, we can always have an edit option to edit and change the visualizations here. Okay. Maybe I'm using my SKU is not supporting. Yes,
No,
64 I'm using.
just a minute, Rajendra. That is Copilot. You can close the tab. Nowadays, they
Sorry.
recently changed the user
Okay,
interface. You
window
can click
also.
on the visualization table
Here,
on the
here.
left top.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
Now you
here
will get
they
the pane.
changed it. Here, these are the visual cities. You can see. Oh, they changed it to right side to the left side now.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes. They are
Sorry.
completely changed the real-time user interface.
Okay. I thought like right side when I observe, right? Maybe 1 month back I worked.
Yes, yes. I
So
think
here you can
Srihari,
see.
you can go, please, if you have any question.
Yeah, like I have just one doubt. Like after doing this fabric, like data warehousing part, is it best practice to connect to Power BI desktop, or like we can do here even Power BI report? There is an option, right?
It is depends upon the requirement. Srihari, right?
Yeah.
Depends upon the requirement. Maybe sometimes, right, if the user wants many type of a charts, it is also supporting RT dashboards, also supporting the page wise analysis, but we are familiar with the Power BI part. If the user is expecting lot of various type of different visual setup in such kind of a scenario, you can choose the